together again on the radio. And looking at a story here from abcnews.com. No point going to our employer's website, westwood1.com, because you won't find any news there. Just a lot of blurbs about our programming and how wonderful it is. So we had to go to abcnews.com. ABC is in the radio business, too. They have a website with news on it. So we went there. And listen to this story from the I'm Hardly Surprised department. It says here, it's no shock that many teenage girls think they're overweight. But a new survey by the magazine called Teen People, which is like People magazine for the tweeners, reveals a surprising source of pressure to diet. Who's putting pressure on girls to diet? Their parents. Of the 1,500 girls ages 13 to 18 surveyed by the magazine, 28% said the greatest pressure to diet came from parents. Friends were pointed to by 15% of the respondents, and only, surprisingly, 7% said boyfriends piled on the pressure to look thin. Amy Barnett, managing editor of Teen People, said, "You always think that the parents are going to be the ones to encourage self-acceptance for their kids. But in reality, we find that a lot of parents are actually projecting their own issues onto their kids." Barnett, who's an editor of a teen magazine, but now she's being portrayed as some expert, added, "I think it's incredibly important to let it go if your child is a couple of pounds overweight. Encourage them to live a healthy lifestyle." It says here more than half of the girls surveyed said they thought they weighed too much, and 58% said movie stars make them the most insecure about their bodies. But the influence of parents was undeniable. Alyssa Tanny, age 13, said, "My mom has a bigger influence than anyone else. I think if she turned around and started saying to me, 'You're fat, you really need to lose the weight,' I think I'd really feel bad about myself." Alyssa's mom, Pat, said, "I think it's just as important as alcohol and drugs when teenagers become obsessed about their body image to the point where they no longer eat or they eat all the wrong food." It says here, parents have reason to worry. Recent research on teen suicide reveals that teens who see themselves as either too skinny or too fat were twice as likely to attempt suicide as teens with normal body images. Survey also revealed cultural differences in body image. According to the survey, 51% of black girls are totally satisfied with their bodies, compared to only 31% of white girls and 30% of Hispanic girls. Barnett said, and again, she's the editor of a teen magazine, but she's now being portrayed as an expert in just about everything. She said, "I think within the black community, you'll find that women are much less obsessed about their body. I think that it's a culture that values a fuller figure." But Trinice Murdoch, 13, who is black, still feels pressure to stay thin, claiming it is important to attract guys. Trinice said, "A lot of guys, they're into the really, really skinny look, like the really, really skinny legs." Alyssa Tanny was asked if it was more important to have a pretty face or a good body. She said they go hand in hand. If you have a pretty face and a good body, listen to this, you have more of a chance of having more friends, boyfriends, and just being more happy and satisfied with yourself. Well, dear, you're onto something. And let's talk about why parents are pressuring their teenage girls to diet. I'm sure the Tom Leykis Show, in some small way, played a part. Because, as we've said so many times on this program, it's important for parents to let their daughters know that the fatter they are, the lower an income they can expect from a potential husband. The fatter you are, the less household income there is. By the way, that's not just my opinion. We read documented evidence that the more a woman weighs, the lower her family income. That is not some statistical coincidence. That is reality. The fatter you are, the less wealthy a husband you can attract. If you're really, really fat, you're going to be really, really poor. Parents are just trying to do what's right for their daughters. Do you want your daughter to grow up to be with a guy who makes $25,000 a year, $20,000 a year, $18,000 a year? Do you want your daughter to be with a guy who makes six figures? Now, I'll tell you what, if you want a guy who makes six figures, you better have a nice figure. That's how it works. Bottom line. If the girls have been ingesting too many Happy Meals up before their 12th birthday, it's time to do something about it. Time for these girls to hit the treadmill. Time for them to start eating right. I'm not saying the South Beach diet necessarily, but it's time for these girls to shed a few pounds. Because if they don't, they're going to live a life of lower middle class at best. Because I'll tell you, as a man who can afford anybody, I'm a multimillionaire. I'm a self-made multimillionaire. And I can have any woman I want. Are there exceptions? Oh, sure. I'm sure there are a few. But generally speaking, women want money, power, and or fame. That's what they want. I've got all three. So I can pretty much have any woman I want. I must tell you that if a woman was, 160 pounds and under 5'11", I would have no interest. None. Period. And I know other wealthy, successful individuals feel the same way. We can afford the best. And those girls who have an extra 20, 30 pounds baby fat or more? Nope. Not doing it. So I'm hardly surprised. I don't know why anyone is surprised. I don't know why this is a news story. Parents pressuring their daughters to go on a diet. That's because the parents want the girls to do well. Parents pressure boys to go to college, study hard, work hard, instill the American work ethic. You want a girl to ultimately be able to stay home, raise babies, be financially well off. She's going to have to look great. Being fat is not generally accepted in our society as looking great. It's not. Parents are doing the right thing. Tell the girls to start losing weight. Start dropping some pounds. I'm not saying to become bulimic or stick their fingers down their throats or anything like that. I'm simply saying they've got to be in shape. Got to be. Got to be. Is there anything wrong with parents telling their daughters, hey, you gotta lose weight?
Tom Leykis.
Tom Leykis?
Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
It's Ed on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, Ed. I'm the father you never had.
Damn right.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show with 1-800-5800-TOM. Well, let's say hello to Whitney on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Whitney.
Well, I happen to agree with you about telling girls that they need to lose weight, but I think that you have a little bit of confusion about causation.
Causation? What about causation?
Well, you're talking about the studies in which overweight is correlated with low income, but
yes.
Correlation and causation are not the same thing.
We didn't say that it's the same thing. What I am saying, though, is that if you are fat, rich men won't want to be with you.
That may be true, but that's not the only thing that your studies might be indicating.
That's not the point. There may be other reasons men might not want to be with a woman, but being fat is a guarantee that a rich man will not want to be with you, that a well-off man will not want to be with you.
Well, couldn't there be rich chubby chasers, though?
All right. Are there exceptions to the rule? Are there men who like to run around in high heels and pink panties? Yes. Would you say that's the norm? No. I mean, I would not want to take that chance with... If I had a daughter, I would not want her taking that chance that she's going to meet the chubby chaser.
But do you think that that's the best argument to use with girls to keep them from being overweight?
Absolutely. You know what? Using arguments about lifespans and blood pressure and stroke, no young person believes that. At that age, girls who are being bombarded with information about buying designer clothing, they're being brainwashed at younger and younger ages. They know they're going to need money to buy all that stuff. And they know they're going to want to attract a guy who has money. And the best way to know whether or not you're going to have a man who makes a good living is step on the scale and look at the number.
But then you're going
Your weight is inversely proportional to your ability to attract a rich man.
However, you're going to get those fat girls who try to defend being fat by saying, I don't need a man, I can do it all on my own.
That's fine, but at least you know what? This, I think, is the most compelling argument for a young girl to lose weight.
Well, I think there's also an argument that people who are low income tend to be overweight. And so not just about...
That's because their parents are overweight, because they're low income, and the thing goes on and on and on.
Right, and also women can't succeed in the workplace if they're unattractive. So it's more than just attracting a man.
There's another good reason for the girls to lose weight. But the point is, parents pressuring their daughters to lose weight, that's not a bad thing. That's sensible parenting.
Oh, I agree. I have a niece who is so overweight, it's disgusting. And her parents don't do anything to help her lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not certain that saying you're not going to be able to attract a man to get married, 10 years from now, 15 years from now is going to do
the
job.
Or ever. No well-off man, except for an occasional freak, he's going to want to be with a fat girl.
Well, I guess I don't have to worry because I'm neither fat nor unmarried.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you, Whitney. Appreciate the call. It's Kimberly on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Kimberly.
I love your show.
Thank you.
And I have my boys listen to you, and my daughter I am raising to live and have the same life I have in her future.
Uh-huh. And you are doing well, I tell you.
I am living my life the way I've always wanted to.
Really?
I married someone 15 years older than me who has a great living and makes a lot of money.
How much does he make?
He makes at least over 6 figures.
So he makes over $100,000 a year?
Well, yeah, a lot more.
$500,000?
More than that.
$1 million?
Yeah, about that probably.
Well, that's 7 figures.
7 figures, close to.
All right, so you have to be. You had to, but before you were 30, you had to be a 10.
Oh, absolutely.
And by now you're probably a 9.
Yeah, I'm 37. So
yeah, so you got a few miles on the odometer, but still, being a 9 at 37 is nothing to sneeze at.
Nope, and I don't work, and I play all day with my friends.
Well, that's what women in shape get to do, and I hope the fat chicks are listening, because when a woman is in shape, she gets the life you get. You get to stay home with your kid, you work out during the day, you meet your friends for Starbucks, whatever. You have the perfect life that women, of course fat chicks always say they don't need men, or they don't need money, or they can make their own money. That's because they have no choice.
I agree. And
you have a choice, and you could go to work if you wanted to. That's the thing. If you wanted to go to work, you could, but what woman wants to?
Not me.
The fat and fugly. That's who wants to.
I agree, and you're the best. You just described my parenting style, and I had to call and tell you.
Thank you, Kimberly. You better bring your daughter to the gym with you.
She does go to the gym with me, actually. She's 12, and we work out together, and we ride our horses together, and we have a nice life.
You can train her to be the next generation
of beautiful women.
Beautiful women who get rich guys.
Yep. I agree with you. I think you're the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. You notice hot chicks never, ever get angry at me? All the women who call up and call me a misogynist and they say they hate me. Have you ever noticed when a woman is hot, and you can tell, she's not making it up, especially if her husband makes $1 million a year. You notice women like that love me because they know all too well that I'm telling the truth. The women who get really angry at me, the women who get pissed, the women who call in here and yell at me and say how hateful I am, they're the fat and fugly. That's what they are. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Don on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, man, I think the parents should tell their daughters to lose weight, and because no one likes a fat chick.
Right.
I don't want to admit it. There's nothing wrong with being hot. There's nothing wrong with being a hot chick.
No.
People are like, oh, you should take pride in who you are and blah, blah, blah. What's wrong with taking pride in looking good?
I totally agree with you.
Right? You know, and I travel to Japan a lot, and everyone over there is thin.
Yeah, I want what I'm paying for.
They don't, you know, everyone in this country is fat enough as it is, you know. We need to get in shape as fat Americans, you know. It's embarrassing traveling around the world and seeing what fat pigs we have over here.
Oh, believe me, I was just in France, Don. I was in Paris on the Champs-Élysées. And just an average sampling of the women there, even the women that were not 10s were slim, stylishly dressed.
Yeah.
They looked hot.
That's right.
Even average-looking faces looked hot because they had great bodies.
Yeah, man, if everyone here got in shape, you know, we wouldn't have all the problems with heart disease and diabetes and all that stuff. Maybe we could afford health insurance, but that's another issue.
You're right about that. Thank you, Don.
Parents, skinny girls.
Thank you for that, Don. Now I'm going to really get into some dangerous territory. Let's think about this for a second. Because we've had the African-American callers on our show. Many men who say they're fed up with black women who say that they don't understand why black men want to be with white women. And then we read stories like this one that says that 51% of black girls are totally satisfied with their bodies compared to only 31% of white women and 30% of Hispanic girls. But you have to wonder. Rich black men who trade up. I'm putting that in quotes. I'm not saying they're actually trading because, frankly, white girls are not my choice. Just so you know. But rich black men who, quote-unquote, trade up to white chicks, the OJs, the Bryant Gumbels of the world, whatever. Do you think this issue about weight could have something to do with it? Just asking. Just wondering. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Hey, Tom. You know what? It's funny that you're talking about this because I'm actually a prime example of me getting rid of a fat chick after I made a little bit of money.
So you traded up?
Oh, man. I was shacked up with this.
By the way, I'm not putting that one in quotes. Go ahead. Yeah, tell me.
I was shacked up with one girl, and it was a high school sweetheart. Got involved with her. We didn't get married and no kids. But I went and I finished real estate school, and she worked, and she helped take care of me. But that whole time, you know, she just put on so much weight, and it was just getting grosser by the minute that I said, man, as soon as I get, you know, my thing together, I'm losing this girl. So last year was my first year actually making a six-figure income. As soon as I got that check, man, she was out the door. She was out the door because I was able to upgrade and get something a lot nicer now. So, you know, I no longer have to drive that Chevy because now I can afford a Hummer.
That's what I'm talking. And you're getting Hummers. Well,
oh, exactly.
I mean, come on.
Nightly.
Right.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate the call. It's Brandy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Brandy.
I have to disagree with you about all chicks that hate you are fat and ugly. I want to say that don't misquote me. I'll tell you what I said, and then you can disagree with that if you want to. What I'm saying is that chicks who are fat and ugly are the disagreeers. Are there attractive women who don't like me? Sure there are, but not a lot. Okay, because I was going to say I am very, very attractive, and I have a very, very good piece of arm candy on my arm. That would be my husband, and he takes very well care of me. And our 4 kids.
Really?
Yes.
Is that so?
Yes, and he treats me like a queen, so I give him whatever he wants in return. I deny him nothing.
Yeah, but that's, again, you're hot, he's got money, natural selection.
Yep.
That's how it is. So now you've got a daughter?
I have 2 daughters.
And now you're only 26, so your daughters are what, 5?
My daughters are 4 and 2.
4 and 2. Now, when they get to be 9, 10, 11, and what happens if they look a little chunky?
No, my daughters, chunkiness doesn't run in my genetic pool. So.
Yeah, but you never know about your husband, or you never know if you Happy Meals too many, you never know what might happen.
Well, I would try everything to discourage them from, just sitting on their behinds and not doing anything about their weight, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, women are naturally body conscious, whether they believe it or not. And, sad to say that a lot of overweight chicks, they are more body conscious than those that are skinny, And so I would just encourage my daughters to, get out there and burn that weight off as best as they can.
Right. Exactly. So, so as much as you called to disagree with me, you really agree with me.
I agree to disagree, Tom.
Well, wait, what is it you disagree about? I'm not clear.
I disagree with the fact that, women who are overweight don't get the good guys.
They don't. They don't get the rich guys. They might get the nice guys, the poets, the chronically unemployed but loving guys, the guys who hand out coupons at the mall saying, check this out, check this out, check this out. They may get guys like that. They're not getting CEOs. They're not getting 6-figure salaries. They're not driving BMW.
But I thought it was supposed to be all about the way a woman carries herself, not just, not her weight.
No. You're wrong. Guys with money can afford women who look good, like your husband.
All right, Tom.
I mean, that's the point, Brandy. What you didn't realize by calling in and telling me what you told me, you've just proven my point.
Okay.
You know that.
You got me.
Right?
You got me. I know when I've been licked.
Now, if you called in and said, that, hello, I weigh 200 pounds, my husband's a millionaire, then maybe you'd have an argument. But you call up and say, well, my husband's rich and I'm hot. Well,
no, you know what? Honestly, my husband and I, we are not rich.
Well,
we're not rich.
Yeah, but he's well off.
We're pretty well off.
Yeah, how much does he make?
Oh, I'd rather not disclose that. I know he's listening right now.
But you're anonymous, and so is he. I don't even know if your name is Brandy, okay? I mean, who knows? You're anonymous. Does he make over $50,000 a year? He does, doesn't he? He does, right?
I'm not going to say yes, and I'm not going to say...
Dear, you're anonymous. Nobody knows who you are. No, I don't even know your husband's name or who he is or what he does for a living. I know nothing about him, and nobody else does either.
Okay, yes.
Yes, he makes over 50.
Yes.
Does he make over 100?
No.
All right, so he makes, what, about 75, 80,000?
We live comfortably.
So I'll take that as 80,000.
All right.
All right. And you know what? That's a damn good salary. 80,000 a year. And if you weighed 200 pounds, I'm telling you, you wouldn't be with a guy who made 40,000 a year.
Well, to kind of correct you, I'm about 5'9", and I do weigh somewhere around, I'm somewhere in that vicinity, but I'm an African American woman, so I carry my weight well.
But you're not 200 pounds.
I'm close to it, Tom.
Come on!
I kid you not. I kid you not.
Really?
I am an Amazon. I've got boobs, I've got butt, I've got thighs.
Really?
I'm a very curvaceous woman.
Curvaceous?
Yes.
But do you have a small waist?
Pretty small, yes.
Pretty small? If you had a smaller waist, you'd make 100,000 a year.
Hey, you pop out 4 babies and tell me you still have a small waist.
Thank you, Brandy.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
We don't dump you because you're a slut. God damn it. Men live for sluts.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show from Los Angeles. At 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about a survey done by a magazine called Teen People. They surveyed 1,500 girls ages 13 to 18, and they found that the greatest pressure for young girls to diet comes from their parents. I'm saying that's just good parenting, isn't it? Kelly on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Kelly.
How are you?
Do you care?
I really do care, Tom.
I'm doing great.
That's great. Well, I'm calling to tell you that I really agree with you, Tom. And I've got 2 daughters, and they're, well, one's only 2, but the 12-year-old's athletic, and, you know, she's in training.
She's in training. She's got to snag the next generation of rich guy.
That's right.
That's how it works.
You know, I hate to tell you that. I hate to agree with you sometimes, but this time you're dead on. My mom taught me that. My mother's mother taught her that, and, you know, we're going to just keep on going.
I love that. Yeah. I'm so proud.
I am, too. Living in my mansion, driving my car. Yes. You know, I mean.
Of course you are.
I'm living the life that I want to. It's
of course. And all the fat girls out there, take note.
Yes. I love you, Tom.
Thank you, Kelly.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Michelle on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hi.
Hi. You know, I agree with you to some degree, but I have to say that I think that you putting across that being thin and perfect is everything is sad. And I think that's...
Dear, it's not that I'm putting it across. It's reality. I'm just talking about the truth.
It's not true that you... Because when you think that when it's all about being pretty, then you don't have anything else to offer, then a guy's going to leave you anyway if you don't have anything else to offer.
No, dear, it's not whether you have anything else to offer. You see, we're not saying a girl should just be pretty. I'm saying that if a girl is not pretty and thin, she will not attract a successful guy.
But not everybody.
That's how it is. Nobody out there wants to marry Aunt Jemima because she's going to be, making you pancakes every morning. They want to be with somebody who is hot and loves them.
But not everybody. It's not about, I want to find a rich man. I don't care about that.
Are you hot?
Yeah, actually, I'm told all the time.
You're told that you're hot?
Yeah, all the time.
Really? Are you really hot or not?
I mean, I think I'm attractive. I mean, I get told all the time. I'm thin, I'm busty, I'm.
All right. And are you married?
No.
You're not?
Mm-mm.
All right. And do you plan to get married?
Yeah, eventually, but I choose a lot of men who want to be with me just for one reason, and I want more than that.
Yeah, but dear, you understand. Just like a dozen eggs, just like butter, cheese, half and half, there's an expiration date stabbed to the bottom of your spine.
No, you know what?
And the longer you wait, you'll be in the same position as a fat girl.
I get a lot of men that are younger than me all the time.
They haven't married you, dear. You're just having sex with them.
No, I'm not even having sex with them.
All right. The point is they haven't married you.
My point is not. I'm calling.
But you said you'd like to get married, but the longer you wait, the less money that guy is going to make. That's a fact.
I don't care about that, though. That's not everything.
Dear,
that's my point.
That's what they all say when they're not married. I don't care about that.
You know what? All I can say
well, you just told me you do want to get married.
I think what you're teaching women is sad because it makes their self-esteem low already.
Dear, the hotter a woman is, the lower her self-esteem anyway.
But then you're teaching, that's what I'm saying. When you're hot and you're teaching a woman to be just pretty and not anything else to carry herself.
I didn't say she shouldn't have anything else. What I am saying is that if she isn't thin, no one cares what's on the inside of the package. If the outside of the package does not have nice wrapping, no one's going to open the package to see what's in it.
I disagree because I know some girls that are not that attractive and it's their attitude and they still get men. Believe me.
They may get men. They're not getting successful men.
But why is it that, who said that everybody cares about that? I know you think that because that's the kind of people you
that is how it is. And by the way, water seeks its own level. Successful men have hot, thin chicks. Less successful men have fatter, homelier chicks.
But who gives a rat, you know what I'm saying?
Well, put it this way. A man is going to get the hottest chick he can afford. That's how it works.
I disagree with you.
Well, dear, you're not a man. I'm telling you, and I've used this analogy.
There's men that aren't all about that.
Dear, they are all about that. You don't see, dear. You show me a millionaire who's with a fat, greasy little chick. You show me one.
Have a player attitude.
Will you show me? Can you name one wealthy individual who's with a fat, greasy, homely chick?
That's not my point.
No, that's my point. You see, you keep saying that guys don't care. No, go ahead. No, I'm going to hang up on you first. I'm not going to wait for you to hang up on me. You're going to hang up because you don't have a response to what I'm saying. The reality is that any successful man has a woman who is at the very least thin, and in most cases, hot and thin. That's it. And when you say, well, there are men who don't care about that, these are men who don't make a good living. These are men who are not that successful. Those are the men who will take whatever they can get. And if they win the lottery, they're leaving too. That phrase, trophy wife, didn't come from nowhere. I know you're frustrated about this, and dear, as you get older and older, your chances of getting somebody successful are narrowing dramatically. Please.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Yeah, I just wanted to know where I need to send the check.
For what?
For the service that you're giving out.
It's free to the public. I'm the Mother Teresa of broadcasting, as you know. The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Let's say hello to Lisa on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi.
Yes.
How are you?
Do you care, darling?
Yes, I do.
I'm doing great.
Oh, good. I'm a first-time caller, but I listen to you a lot. I listen to you almost every day. And I'm really interested in the topic that you're talking about today. I have a little girl who's going to be a teenager soon, and she's a beautiful girl. And she already has a figure. She's already starting to get a figure, but she went through a chubby stage already. And, I immediately started talking to her about that, about how, she needs to, it's very important how she looks.
Yeah.
And I know because I take care of myself, like extremely, extremely well. And, I'm 38 years old. I, gained weight when I was pregnant and it got up to over 200 pounds. And so I was huge. But I lost it. I worked my butt off and lost it. And now I do figure competitions and beauty pageants and all kinds of stuff like that. And I want my daughter, to take care of herself too. I think it's very, very important. But the only thing is, there is a double-edged sword there because I get treated terribly by other women. And I've already told my daughter too that she's going to have to deal with that because, girls and other women get extremely jealous and catty, and they're just mean.
Well, put it this way. If it's at the office you're worried about, they're like that no matter what you look like.
Well, not even...
Ever notice that most women bosses are just bitches?
Yeah, I mean...
That's how they became the boss.
Yeah, well, I was the boss, too. I had my own business, too, because of that. For that very reason, I used to work in offices, and the women hated me because I would dress sexy. I would wear heels, and, and... they hated it, and they would tell me, you need to lengthen your skirts and lower your heels and not be sexy, and, and they wanted me to just look frumpy, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I don't want my daughter to do that. I want her to be happy with her femininity just like I am. Like, I'm one of the few women my age that is, happy with the way I look. So many women these days, at my age, they hate their bodies. They always find something wrong. And I'm, I guess, an exception to the rule because I'm just totally happy with the way I am. But I've worked really hard to get there. And I train every day and I, watch what I eat. And I don't understand why it's so hard for everyone, why they find it so difficult to just eat well, and just realize that what they put in their mouth is going to go on their body. I don't understand that.
I agree with you. Thank you, Lisa. I want to get one more in here before the end of the hour. Let's say hello here to Darren on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, Darren.
Good, good. I gotta say, a lot of the fatter women in America are now reserved for either the poor man or for the young man, because a lot of the young men nowadays, they're just looking for a nice piece, and a lot, they're inexperienced and they don't have a lot of money to spend, so they end up usually going for the fatter individual.
There's no doubt about it. And fat girls, I must say, they do serve purposes. Certainly somebody you can crib homework from or cheat off of on an exam, because they're usually studying on Friday and Saturday night, so they pretty much know the answers to the questions. And, while you're having a fallow period, if nobody's there when you arrive at their front door to see you, fat girls do serve that purpose. You have sex with them until you can get a relationship with a hot chick.
The Tom Leykis Show.